Hi, some thoughts for today, the Feast of St. Luke. The wonderful priest, poet, archbishop from Brazil, Dom Helder Camara, wrote these words: "To walk alone is possible, but the good walker knows that the great trip is life and it requires companions." In January 1983, I was in my first month as a chaplain at Heathrow Airport. 55 million passengers a year, 58,000 staff, 130,000 passengers a day, and over 1,100 aircraft movements every day. I had visited the 3 terminals, the office blocks. Now came the big one, the big test, the real industrial areas. I walked amidst lorries ferrying luggage, carrying jet fuel, moving airline steps, also coaches taking passengers to their aircraft. I was seeking a door marked 313C. There it was. I opened the door and did several remarkable things. In this vast room, there were groups of lads sitting around playing cards, chatting, reading papers and watching daytime TV. I managed to stop every conversation stone dead. 2 games of cards going on at 2 separate tables also stopped. Cards gathered up back in the box. Have you ever worn one of these? The power it has is quite amazing. In the deepening silence, I noticed one young man precariously balanced on the edge of the table with some newspaper in his hands. As I looked closer, I saw he was trying to cover up some pin-ups that were on the wall. I'm paranoid by now, so when one group left to go to clean an aircraft, I thought it must be my fault. The silence was broken by a voice over a crystal clear tannoy exclaiming, "Welcome, Padre. Chat to the lads. Someone will make you a cup of tea." I thought, I don't think any of these chaps will be the one to make the vicar a cup of tea. I was right. No one moved. I thought I must talk to someone. After all, that is one of the reasons I'm here. The poor chap I chose had his arms folded, his eyes riveted to the floor, legs crossed. His body language was shouting at me, "Please don't talk to me." But I did, and of course got no response. I thought, I'm out of here. The door was one you pushed, I pulled, and it made a horrendous bang before I got outside into Heathrow's fresh air. I thought, well, things can't get worse. Never think that, because they generally do. A chap who'd witnessed my attempt to spread the gospel to BA introduced himself as a Church of England worshipper, even a church warden, plus lay chair of his deanery synod, as well as being on the church's outreach group. I invited him to come to the chapel for my services. He said, "I'm sure you're a nice chap who takes a nice service in a nice church, but you're not my vicar. It's not my service, it's not my church, so I won't come." I felt dreadful and wondered how I was going to do this job. The answer to my worries and fears came to Heathrow, dressed in the Lieutenant Colonel's uniform belonging to the Salvation Army, called Fred. Fred Hoyle. He had retired from full-time work in the army and was looking for a little job to ease him into his retirement, and was drawn to Heathrow. From the day he arrived in August 83, we went round the airport together, and the work for me changed overnight. He was answer to my prayer of, "How, Lord, can I do this work?" So today's gospel always reminds me of my time at Heathrow, and I'm forever grateful that the good Lord sent Fred to the airport and that Fred said yes to the good Lord's invitation. Our life's journeys need companions, not least our spiritual journey. We do need someone who will stand beside us and listen to us where we are on our spiritual journey. Someone who'll just listen to us. Someone who'll say, "That is okay." Someone who will share the joys, the questions, the doubts, the fears, and put an arm round our shoulder and say, it's okay. St. Paul had his Barnabas. The Old Testament Moses had his Aaron. After the resurrection on the road to Emmaus, Clopas and his companion, probably his wife, are sharing all their concerns when the risen Lord comes to join their journey. We need our companions, especially on our spiritual journey. Sometimes it can feel lonely when doubts and fears creep in. Fred coming to Heathrow changed my whole attitude. What could have been a lonely wilderness became a unique vineyard. We need to share our spiritual journeys. Keep well, keep safe, and God bless.